Elden Ring is FromSoftware's most recent title. It is a fantasy RPG set in the world of the Lands Between. The game began development in 2017 alongside Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice and ultimately released in February of 2022. Elden Ring is the amalgamation of the Souls series' best attributes brought to life by Hidetaka Miyazaki, director of FromSoftware, and Game of Thrones writer George R.R. Martin, who wrote the story and created the lore.
Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead, who yet live.
Since Elden Ring's release, it has been regarded as one of the best games to release in the last few years, and for good reason, winning Game of the Year in 2022, and its DLC controversially being up for Game of the Year in 2024 shows the quality of FromSoftware's game design and product delivery. The instant success of Elden Ring caused a lot of new players to discover the Souls genre for the first time and created a lot of publicity outside of the regular Souls fans. This was when I first tried a FromSoftware game and fell in love with the Souls series, and have since played more of the Souls games. Elden Ring's break into mainstream media is one of the most eye-opening moments in the video game industry, in my opinion, due to the amount of influence and good that came from it, but more importantly, the uproar among many Western game developers, including those from Ubisoft, Guerrilla and Sony, saying that customers would start expecting a more polished experience, which would be bad for the market and industry. Some devs from Ubisoft complained about other aspects of the game, such as game UI, graphics and quest design, while others expressed their frustration that consumers would now expect polished, unique products.
Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
While the structure of Elden Ring and Dark Souls is not the easiest, the intention is for it to be a challenge that you must overcome. Unlike games such as Assassin's Creed or Star Wars Outlaws that hold your hand throughout the whole game, Aubrey Cole, in an article from the Daily Trojan, says Ubisoft isn't the only company that does this. It's rare to find a game that just throws the player out on their ass and says good luck. This is why developers hated Elden Ring. It dared to innovate, setting a new expectation for fans of the open world gameplay. In recent years, there's been a growing trend of releasing unfinished or lackluster products that are below par. Games such as Cyberpunk 2077, Fallout 76, No Man's Sky, Star Wars Outlaws, Saints Row Remastered and Redfall are some to name a few. I believe that when it comes to this new standard, a lot of companies need to start doing things right and look for the games that excelled in that field and learn from them. The likes of Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3 and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom are examples of times games haven't been made right. While it is generally not the developer's fault and is the fault of deadlines or stakeholder pressure, that doesn't mean that things can change and improve, especially with the level of games releasing next year, from GTA 6 to Doom the Dark Ages and Borderlands 4. It would be a shame to see the current trend and lack of care for consumers carry forward into these releases. It is truly disappointing every time a game releases in an atrocious state, and developers should start to care more about the people playing their games rather than just trying to make some easy money. In the end, it is important that developers learn from what Elden Ring did right and push the expectations of consumers higher and higher. If the consumer is paying upwards of €60 for a game, it should be worth the money, which thankfully is starting to become the case once again.